Welcome everyone to my first training talk. Thank you for watching, and in this video I want to talk about my Riding Raw Across America bike trip. A quick recap of what Riding Raw Across America was. It's a charitable-oriented campaign aimed at raising funds and awareness for underprivileged children pursuing community athletics in North America. The two charities we raised money for was Athletics for Kids and Two Will View. The campaign revolved around me cycling across America from Astoria, Oregon to New York City in under 20 days on a whole foods raw vegan diet. A couple reasons why I thought of this campaign. Well, I really enjoyed my bike trip across Canada, and I thought if I could turn it into a charitable campaign, even better. Plus, I love whole foods and the vegan message, and I thought it was a great way to bring all those together and make an impact, spread awareness, and get some attention for those causes. Some info on how it went. Well, we started on the planned start date. We finished on the planned finish date, and we completed it. But that is certainly not without any issues. So, some issues that I had. Well, initially I thought I was going to have about 7 hours of sleep, and it turned out that was not the case, and I ended up having to sleep on 4.5 hours average for the whole trip. I found the sleep deprivation to be a real struggle, especially in the middle and near the end of the trip, where my days were all over 300 kilometers per day or 200 miles per day, and usually I had 3 rest days, and typically between each rest day there's about 4 or 5 riding days, and by the 3rd, 4th, 5th day after rest day, my energy really bugged, and I was really feeling the effects of the sleep deprivation. I'd like to share a story from 3 of my most memorable days on the trip. So day number 1 of most memorable days would be the low point of the trip, when I had a bit of a mental breakdown. I've never experienced this before. It was really shocking to go through. It was when I really noticed that once you enter into multiple successive days of sleep deprivation, how that really affects you emotionally, not just physically, because I was experiencing things that I would normally have been able to handle had I not had sleep deprivation, but through like 4 days in a row of like 4 hours of sleep a night. One day was like 3.5. These simple things, which were rain after just a couple hours, pretty painful saddle sore, really the most painful I've ever had, and just the emotional toll, all that compounded, and it really took a toll on me. And so I broke down in tears in my vehicle, and it took me about, I think, an hour and a half to collect myself. It stopped raining by that point, and I finished on another 200 kilometers of riding. So that was a really hard day. That was the hardest moment I've ever had on the bike. The second most memorable day was my last rest day at John Slater's place. His dad set us up with just an abundance of fresh vegetables and fruits, the best tomatoes I've ever had in my life, and the accommodation and staying at his place was just spectacular. It's just, such a relief and such a great rest day. The third most memorable day would be, of course, the day that I finished. I remember just coming in to New York City as traffic is getting just busier and busier, more condensed, emotions are feeling more intense, and walking through Washington Central Park was such a emotional conclusion to what I had been planning for a whole year. It was really quite amazing, and to have Jackson there to photograph it and videograph it, it brought it all together. It was really such an amazing feeling at that point. I'd like to talk about where I plan on improving for my goals in the future. So, not anticipating having to go through 4.5 hours of sleep on average per night, it was because of my lack of speed that I had over the successive days. So, in the future, I've got to get used to 2 things. One is more experience with sleep deprivation, 2 is I gotta increase my speed. So that will lead me, that'll be a focus of my goals for the future in the next year. Increase my speed and more experience with sleep deprivation. And I'm going to do that through racing 24-hour races and 500-mile races that will also qualify me for RAM next year. I'd like to just finish off this talk by kind of just giving a general thank you to a lot of people that supported me on this trip. Maybe weren't sure I was going to make it, but rooted for me nevertheless. And it's really quite amazing to see the people that I've impacted through this trip. You know, you're never really sure how people are going to take it, if it will really grab people's attention. But you know, some people, upon meeting them, they signed up for their Ironman right away. Some other people said they were going to do bike trips after meeting me, and they have. And you know, it's really quite amazing to see the impact that it can have on people when you just put yourself out there, do something you love, and have a message behind it. So there's a bunch of people that I have to say thank you for, and you know, if you've helped me along this journey of a couple years that I've been doing annual fitness goals, I really appreciate it. And there'll be more videos to come, more journeys to come, and more goals to attain. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.